Hello, everybody. So last week we looked at Nisargadatta and Rupert Spira talking about the taste of the present. And I got lots of positive responses and also a negative one. So I was able to focus my mind exactly on that one negative comment, luckily, or unfortunately, yes. Anyway, so the person was saying that... oh, very poetic. Oh, it's all rubbish, nonsense. And what's the present moment? How do you define the present moment? Did it happen? Did it start a few nanoseconds ago or a billion years ago? Now, I'm normally when people are open and seem to be interested, I probably would have interacted talking about the present moment. But clearly, the guy was not there for that. So I just said. I was just using the present as a normal term. I wasn't, don't need to define it. It's the common English usage of the present. Everybody knows what it is. And he kind of said, no, we don't, it's not common usage. Now, I've been an English teacher for 25 years, and I teach every single day. I talk about the present, the future, and the past. And there's one thing that with the present continuous tense, so the present progressive, like I am making a YouTube video or I am reading Lord of the Rings. Now, this tense, this present continuous, is for right now. So right now I'm making a video. Right now, it's what I'm doing right now. I am making a video. But I can also use it to say, I'm reading Lord of the Rings. It's not actually true, but it was the only example I could think of. So I'm reading Lord of the Rings. It doesn't mean that I'm doing it now. It means that in the evenings I read it. I've been doing it for a few months. It's kind of around now. And so I tell my students when I'm explaining this, I say, so the present continuous can be used for right now we are learning English, or around now I'm learning to cook or something. Not right now in the English lesson, but I also go to classes and I'm improving my cooking skills, something like that. And when I say that, the difference between right now and around now, people get it. I've never had anybody having to say to me, but I don't understand, can you define how many milliseconds now is so I can understand what you're talking about? So it is clearly something people understand. And I think it's fair to say I'm just using normal English. Yeah, I don't bringing time measuring it is not productive. It could be, I don't know, maybe in another video. Now, I also got an interesting interaction on this subject. I don't know if it was even the same video, because I get these comments and I respond to all of them, and it could have been on another one. The person was talking about the present moment, and they said the present moment is outside time. And I responded with something that I just thought up then, but I've heard of it before, is that the atomic clocks we've got now are so accurate that depending how close they are to the Earth, they run at different speeds, because, I don't know if you know, but the mass of something warps space-time. So you've seen this, maybe you've seen the film Interstellar, when they go down to the planet that's near the black hole, time goes really slowly. This actually happens. It's very, very clear in the film how slow it's going compared to outside the effect of the black hole. But time moves slower when it's nearer massive objects, or any mass, basically. Mass warps space-time. Now, so an atomic clock they've got them so accurate now that you can put one on a table and one on the floor, and the one on the floor moves slower than the one on the table. You can actually look at these two clocks at the same time and watch how time moves slower when it's closer to the Earth. And just in the distance of a table, because of the accuracy of these clocks now, the one on the table moves faster. Now, they did this experiment for the first time in 1971. They sent a a watch up into space, and they had another one that they had synchronized on Earth, and they could see this happening. It was predicted by Einstein with his theory of relativity. So we can actually watch within the present moment, what we know as the present moment, this thing that's here now, basically wherever you are, that's the present moment, where you are. You can see time running at different speeds. So time is actually really is inside the present moment. It's not outside the present moment. You can observe time moving differently. Now, what's actually happening is there is change. And we began harvesting crops, and we needed to know, and probably before that, for the movement of animals, we needed to know how this change was, when these animals would be around, or when we had to plant the crops, and so we used the sun. So the sun and the planets and the stars were moving. So we used this movement, this regular movement of the stars, to decide when to plant the crops. That was change. Now, things change at different speeds. Clearly, if the two clocks are changing, you put one on the ground, one on the table, things are changing at different speeds. Within what we see as the present moment, everything is changing at different speeds. And what we know as time is just that we started with the planets and the day, days and seasons. But then when we developed clocks, I suppose we had sundials first, and then we developed clocks and machinery. And when we had the railway, we had to synchronize the clocks across different cities. This became something that we started seeing as something that was there, outside of the present moment, where the present moment flows through. But what's actually happening is there is the present moment, which I think we probably have to even stop calling it the present moment, because present and moment are both time words. So not really appropriate anymore. Maybe we just say, you could say the now, or you could say in me. So in me, there is all this change happening. And we can fabricate time by saying that, I'm going to use this change, the change of this atomic clock, as time that I'm going to catch the train with. I'm not going to use the atomic clock on the floor. Well, it's going to be, you'll catch the same train, I'm sure it's going to be close enough. But really, this change is happening, and we've invented something that we call time, that we put on top of it. So the present moment, or you, are definitely outside time. Time is a construct that's happening inside you because of change that we see. Change, there's always change. Change is truer than time. And the way that we use change and observe change and use change to measure other rates of change, so we use the change of a clock to measure the rate of change of boiling an egg, and it works, it's great. But it doesn't mean that time is this thing that's outside of us. Time is inside of us. So I hope that was interesting. Thank you very much. Goodbye.